What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast. We're about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And Chris Abacon.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on? So welcome to Friday's episode. So throughout the week, so Monday and Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion, and then Fridays, like this one, we talk about everything else, so really not cyber related. And then Thursdays, I skipped a day, Ask a CSSP, where I sit down and have my interviews. I have two pending. I just have to get through the editing process. And we talked about it in the discussion episode. It's hard to find time, but without further ado, Shannon, how was your week?
No complaints, man. We're getting a little bit of snow out here in Colorado, and we about to be freezing. Well, for you guys watching this today, we already froze, right? Because it's these negatives that are coming were earlier in the week, but we filmed before you guys see it. But
right, which is weird though, because I know you were going to say that about the cold weather. It is extremely warm and humid right now. I opened the door to let the dog out, and these warm winds hit me, and I was just like, I thought it was supposed to be cold. Like what?
It's gonna be a cold today as we're recording.
Weather work?
We're about to get a cold front, man, here in Florida.
So it's pushing all the warm air down?
Yeah, it's gonna push the warm air down. Yeah.
I imagine so. Like weather almost always, right? I want to say almost always. I'm not a meteorologist. Goes west to east, right? So like the stuff we experience, it has the potential to go over. Now, you guys being farther south, maybe not so much. But I know there are times where I give it a few days, and when I talk to my father or my stepmother, they're like, "Oh yeah, we got this, that, and the third." I'm like, "Yeah, we had that 4 days ago. You know what I mean? Like that same weather formation just went all the way over there to the East Coast, but." Yeah, there are times where I call the folks out here weather guessers. I'm like, they're not, you know what I mean? Like, and and I hate to do that, right? They go to school, they do the models, they do all of that stuff, but we have a mountain range that's like right here next to us, as west of us, that can wreak havoc on the weather sometimes. Sometimes the weather makes it over, sometimes it gets stopped there, and you don't exactly get what they're predicting, right? But I hate to give them a bad rap like that, but sometimes it just upsets me.
Meteorologists count your days. As soon as quantum computing is a real thing, and it could take a model and then accurately predict all the possibilities, you're done. You're done for.
It's like watching football on Amazon, right? They got the AWS thing that does have you seen that commercial where they do?
Sometimes it's spot on. Have you seen it in a game? Sometimes they'll highlight the player that's gonna. So I watched it. It happened a couple games ago. Sometimes they'll highlight a player and show a potential route, and he did it and sacked the quarterback. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. It's probably like one in a 99 point billionth chance of it happening, but they predicted it just before it happened, and it happened. I was like, wow.
Is that the one where they like circle them for no reason while they're coming? Yeah, I think I have seen it. Yeah, I didn't realize what it was. Like what I saw was a commercial where Amazon was talking about it, and they'll show a player, like he'll drop back, and then they show the different things that can happen. They'll throw it, they'll run this way, right?
But they'll do it in the game sometimes. I don't know if that's AWS per se. I just assume because of that commercial you're talking about.
Yeah.
But sometimes they'll highlight a route. They'll highlight a player in a route, and then they'll do it. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I don't know if that's AWS specifically, but I feel like AWS has got the market, right? At least in this stand. So they're like, yeah, we're showing off our capabilities, right? But like, hey, Azure can do it too if you code, so.
Right.
Azure isn't airing. Microsoft's not airing any NFL games, right? Amazon is.
But the thing is, they got the Microsoft Surface all over the freaking games, right?
That's true.
That's true.
And I do remember like a few years ago when they first started doing them, the announcers and everybody were calling them iPads, and they were pissed. They're like, no, these are Microsoft Service tablets.
Right.
Yeah. That's what everybody assumes, right? So like, my children have the Amazon, was it Fires is what they're called?
Fire, Rogue, whatever.
And we say iPad all the time. Where's your iPad?
It's like Kleenex, right?
Yeah.
iPad's a Kleenex.
Or Band-Aid.
It's a brand, and you keep saying
man.
it. It's true. We just get in our ways. Get stuck in our ways. You'll never
Velcro. Yeah. So I heard somebody call it, like when we're working with the Army, Chris, they call it double-sided POW tape or something like that.
Double-sided POW tape? Yeah.
I was like, what the heck is that? They were like, oh, it's Velcro.
Velcro.
I was like, who would call it that? Weird. But no, I got you off on a tangent. So I know you want to talk trash.
What do you mean trash? I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're referencing.
Ravens gear in the background.
What you're referencing at all. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you, if y'all shoveled all the snow out of the stadium that they've been getting up in Buffalo all week, like it's going to be a problem. Lamar is going to run loose. Derek is going to run loose. Like y'all should have
I'm
just
less
left it
worried.
higher.
I'm less worried about your pass game because it's going to be windy and cold, but I'm very very nervous about Derrick Henry. Something ain't right with that guy, right? Like you look into his
have you seen his
eyes.
training where he's like training uphill and running like zigzag? I'm like, what? This guy's a freak of nature.
I can believe it because he just plows through people, and that makes me nervous. Like Cook is a really good running back, so don't get it twisted. We got a pretty good run game, but Derrick Henry, like last time we played y'all, he embarrassed us with he just ran through. It didn't matter. You give him the ball, he's getting 7 yards on you.
It was 199 yards, right? He was 1 yard short of 200, I think.
Ridiculous. So that makes me nervous. So I'm hoping they figured out some way to contain him, but no one in the league has figured it out yet. So I don't know if the Bills are going to sit there and be like, we got it. They got AWS working in the background, figure out the possibilities of what he can do or something. Because
And then,
I'm
they
I'm
showed
pretty
him the
nervous.
iPads. And then they showed him the iPads. No, I haven't seen this training video you're talking about, Chris. I thought he just did home and auto training, like he just ran with living rooms and like.
Right.
Yeah, so like on social media though, like it's pretty cool on like Instagram. You can follow these like footwork coaches, and Derrick Henry has like some cool stuff out there, right? But some of that training is no joke, and how fast they move. And really, he's such a big guy, and that's what's really incredible. Like he's like what 6'2", 6'3", and most running backs tend to be on the smaller side for center of gravity. But this guy's just gigantic. He's a monster.
Yeah, you're supposed to be low to the ground,
He could be a tight end, man. I think he could be a tight end. Easy. He's a fast tight end, extremely fast.
He's going to be a problem. But so we're recording this the morning before the game, right? The game is in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, when you hear this, I might either be extremely happy or extremely sad.
I'll be gone from the podcast. If I'm gone from the podcast, you'll know what happened.
Yeah, so this is Sunday, right? So the Lions played yesterday. So NFC North is out. I mean, really, I think we were frauds. NFC North, as a Vikings fan, you see our record. We got I'm looking it up. It's we're
15-2,
15-2. Minnesota Vikings 14-3. Green Bay Packers 11-6.
11-6, yeah.
An amazing division, objectively, right? Like looking at it, we got cooked. We got cooked this playoffs.
If you put 3 teams in, that's a good division, right? Like, I know the AFC North has done it a few times too, but like you put 3 teams in, like you are doing pretty good. But none of them are making it to the championship.
But they all choked in the playoffs, right? They all did.
Did the Lions choke? Because I watched a lot of that game, and I was really surprised how well the Commanders were playing.
Well, the Commanders were playing lights out. I mean, credit to Commanders, right? Detroit put up a good fight, but the interceptions is what's getting the Commanders defense is on point, right? They're hot, right? They won like 6 in a row now, right? So, man, they're looking good. The Commanders are looking really good.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm really. Obviously, I'm a big Bills fan. I'm rooting for my team. I want to see us get there, but it seems as though no one's following the script. All right, it's supposed to be the Bills versus the Lions. That was supposed to be the NFL that everybody wanted. Everybody wanted to see that Super Bowl. Someone's gonna go 0-5, and look at y'all messing it up. All right, so now I have less faith in the script.
Hey, look,
do your jobs, people.
Here's the script, and I've saw somebody sent this to me, and I was like, man, I'll be doggone if that ain't true. So with the Ravens, from the first Super Bowl, every 12 years we win a Super Bowl. Well, we won our second one 12 years afterwards with a quarterback that's 20 years old. You want to guess which of those is being met this year? It's 12 years after our previous one.
Right.
Our quarterback is 28 years old. So there is the script. It's like Nas. It is written. Okay, so. It is for us to go and win this thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm sorry we got to go through Buffalo to do it.
Josh Allen is also 28 years old, man.
But he didn't win it 12 years ago. He only
That's
has
true.
One of these. He didn't win it 12 years ago. It's our script. It's the NFL script to follow for us.
Right. Everybody's got their claim on it. So we'll see. We'll see what tonight looks like. I'm hoping we make it to the next round. KC's doing what KC does. I don't know. It's disheartening. No one wants to see them back there again. All right.
It's a good story though, man. I know everybody hates it. It's like when the Patriots were on top too. Everybody hated the successful team, right? Like they have gone to the AFC Championship 7 years in a row. The Chiefs have. They haven't gone to the Super Bowl that many times in a row. Like, and the thing is, like, if Buffalo does win, I threw up in my mouth a little bit when I said it. But if Buffalo does win, I would like to go see them get it, right? Like I feel bad for them that they went to Super Bowl 4 times in a row like that and
4 times.
didn't come away with one. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm not rooting for him. No, Chris, I'm not rooting for him, Chris.
right.
Okay, because we had this conversation offline. I'm not rooting for him, but I'm like, man, I wouldn't mind seeing it.
And for my childhood, like that would be great to see. I've watched them go and it's not like a childhood where I don't have memories. I have specific memories. Wide right, I cried. I was like 7 or 8. Like to see them and my daughter. I just want to see them before I go. Right, all right. Get to the Super Bowl in my lifetime and win, please.
But yeah, I'm waiting for the game. Hopefully that pans out. Not much going on this week with me. Chris, what about you, man?
I mean, really, Shannon, don't forget, it could be the 295 bowl, right? 395, yeah.
At 395, yeah. It could
yeah, there you go.
Bowl. Yeah, could be the Commanders and the Ravens. We'll see.
Nobody wants to see that. That would be a good game, though. Actually,
I don't think the respective metro areas would be very happy. At least the police, some of the craziness going on. Yeah, some. It'd be cool to see that. That's kind of almost like a border battle. Right between the two.
To see the Commanders go to the White House after they win the Super Bowl, that'd be wild, right?
That'd be crazy.
Get their McDonald's.
Yeah,
that'd be wild.
Yeah, at my so from my end, yeah, Vikings frauds, right? Lions frauds, Packers frauds. We suck, but I'm used to it, right? As a Vikings fan, like I've been used to constant disappointment my entire life, right? Like at least as long as I've been I actually became a Vikings fan. In the year that we had Moss, we had Chris Carter, and actually Randall Cunningham, who used to play for Eagles, came and played over. It was the season 1997. Amazing,
that's an all-star team right there. Yeah.
All-star team, right? But we lost that NFC Championship game. Say again?
I think they only lost one game in the regular season that year. I think they went 15.
Yeah, and we also and the reason why we lost was because our kicker at overtime. Right, the fourth quarter missed his first field goal of the season at the end of the fourth quarter to seal the game.
That was Anderson?
And then it was Gary Anderson. And the Falcons went ahead and won. I think they scored a touchdown right at the overtime rules, right back then. So they scored a touchdown. We never got a chance to redeem ourselves, right? So that was the story of the Vikings, because that would have been I think it would have been a Vikings Broncos. I think the Broncos did win that year. It would have been a Vikings Broncos Super Bowl, but that would have been a cool Super Bowl and that's when I became a fan, right? But ever since then, right, we've made the NFC Championship twice. We've lost to the Saints, right? That was when the Saints they had the whole country behind them after what happened, and they were doing the whole bounty gate thing. They were just like, "Hey, let's kill Brett Favre. Let's kill him."
Right. That was a different league.
Yeah, Brett Favre was like, "Yeah, I'm used to that." I mean, like that's why him and Aaron Rodgers, they were playing on the jokes on social media. Like, yeah, they're on Percocet when they're playing, man. They're good. They were crazy. They were old school, like playing with pain, right? Like wow. But also, we also then lost to the Eagles, right? NFC Championship game. That was also very painful because we got killed that game. Nick Foles killed us. So yeah, I've come to just expect it would be a pleasant surprise if we do win. Right, but things are looking up. Hopefully, JJ McCarthy brings up the heat. Next year, hopefully he starts. We'll see what our quarterback situation is. We do have Daniel Jones on our roster. Oh, is that weird? If you guys don't remember, Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I do.
So I'm like, wait, maybe Daniel Jones is gonna just like you come back as his comeback season with the Vikings. So I don't know. Our coach seems to be very good with. We're like a retreat for quarterbacks looking to make it back into the league, right? So
you're the Isle of Misfit Toys for quarterbacks, is what it
exactly. Is. But you never, we'll see how Sam Darnold plays out. He might, I don't know if we'll sign. He might get a good deal with another team, right? But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, off seasons, unfortunately, some of the most exciting times as a Vikings fan because there's hope.
Do you think they won't sign Darnold? Like, do you think his last game made it to where they're like, we're going to move on, or?
I'm leaning towards no, because his last 2 games were pretty bad, right? So I'm leaning towards no. That said, there's a possibility, but we do have Daniel Jones as backup now, so I could, yeah. But I mean, you could see a JJ Daniel Jones, team. Who knows? Okay, but enough about football because I'd be wearing my paper bag right now. It's funny, it was best division, right? Good division, but we frauds. Anyway, on the media end, so the second season of Severance just came out this past Friday, right? So if you're familiar with Severance, so I watched the first episode. It's very cool. They went in the direction that I think made the most sense from a writer standpoint, right? More world building. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So Ben Stiller is the executive producer. I think he might be the director too. Ben Stiller, he's doing an outstanding job with this. So I'm really looking forward to that. Other than that, really studying CISM, right? Nothing crazy. I finished through the Thor Peterson videos. And they're really good.
Really good content. Yeah.
And then I'm going through the QAE question bank by ISACA itself, right? Pretty good. So we'll see. I'm thinking I could test like in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
I'm just gonna say because it really is just the business domains from the CISSP.
Yeah. So a lot of overlap. I think it's still very wide in scope, but not as wide as CISSP. With CISSP, right. Like it's unreal. And then also on the personal side, I've been doing a lot of weightlifting, right? And I'm actually down a few pounds since the holidays, so that's good stuff there. It's been rough, but cut out the carbs, so I've been eating clean, so it does work out. I'm very sore today because of leg day, so that's the day prior. It's I can't squat like I did when I was in my early mid-20s. Like there's no way. Like I would probably
nor should you.
Nor should I. Yeah, exactly.
And ankles and a lower back to take care of now.
Exactly. I'm doing like a third of the weight, maybe if that. What I used to be able to do. Yeah, it's crazy. Like you watch these guys at the gym. They're young. You clearly these kids are young. You can see they're like throwing their backs into it because they can. Right? They got the youth to them. If I tried that, I'd be in a hospital. Right now. So. Yeah, that's been my week. Pretty exciting so far. Ryan, how about you?
Yeah, just really relaxing. So I'm prepping. I'm trying to get my mind right to get ready for trying to take a CCP class. So I'm looking into seeing if my employer will reimburse me for it because it's pretty expensive, and then hopefully take the test sometime in Q1 at the earliest, Q2 at the latest, because I like to add that to my to my repertoire, right? I had that ability to do those assessments as well, because RAM, cyber, consulting, and assessments, right? Like the assessment part is pretty key to it. I could do a bunch of them, but I would like to add CMMC to that list as well. So that's my my Q1/Q2 goal. So I'm going to start prepping for that. And for me, it's really just mentally getting ready to study again, because I'm not mentally ready to study right now. Like, so it's like to clear that space, make that time, what I mean? Like get the calendar right to know when I'm going to study and then test and all that good stuff. That's going to be an uphill battle for me because I've been off of that treadmill for a couple of years now. So I need to prep for that. And then the pool just got finished. So we had a pool constructed. It took about 10 weeks, and they were right there, right. Like their PM was right on the money. He said between 8 and 12 for shooting for 8. And then they were speeding through it. I was sending pictures to Shannon, like, check this out. And then what is it called? Supply chain issues happen, right? So the pavers, right? We had to get a combination of thin and thick. That's kind of boring stuff. Welcome to Dad Talk, the Dad Talk podcast. But if you're going to use an existing, because we had existing patio area, so you have to use the thins on that. And then for the area that doesn't already have a patio, use thicks. You have to get them from the same manufacturer because they all have the same dye. They'll look similar to one another. The issue was they didn't have thins and thicks from the same manufacturer, so when they brought it in to the showroom, the thins and thicks looked totally different. Same name, same base, but the dyes were different because 2 different companies were making them. So that was a 3-week pause in the schedule because they had to wait for a manufacturer to have the time to make thins and thicks and then ship them to the showroom and then bring them to me. So they were like, you can just pick a different tile, and we're like, this is a major project. We want what we want. They said they agreed. They're like, you should get what you want, and then we just had to sit here and wait. So I'm sure my neighbors were ecstatic, because when you get a pool constructed on an already finished property, like they're tearing up the grass. Half my fence has been ripped down so they can get in there. You got the net to make sure nobody walks into the empty pool, right? So there's a lot of dirt and dust. My neighbors were probably like, we hate these people.
And here's the thing, like your construction is just in time because when the Ravens beat the Bills today, you're gonna have somewhere to go relax. You're gonna have somewhere to go
Yeah,
relax to be like,
yeah, there it
man,
is.
that was another drubbing, just like it was earlier in the season. I'm just saying. I'm
Okay,
just putting it out
okay.
there. You know,
hmm
if
Like the plan is to have the TV up on the patio so I can sit there and drink an adult beverage while I watch the Bills win their first Super Bowl. You know,
oh,
I'll have the TV in time for that. So we'll see. Either way, I'm gonna be by the pool. And luckily today is warm, but like you said, like the cold front's coming. Like we're gonna be, they're saying like northern Florida might see snow. That's how cold it's gonna get up there. So if it's
Not
if
here
it's
in
30s in Jacksonville, it'll probably be like 40s, 50s here in Tampa
Tampa
area.
Bay, baby. Let's
Yeah,
go.
we're getting
No, 0 inches of snow.
right.
we got a cold advisory, like with the wind chill, it could be -20 up here tonight for us. So,
You
or
know,
excuse
you know
me,
what the difference
tomorrow night,
between negative
Monday
20
night,
and negative 40 is?
nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
That's how cold negative 20 is. It doesn't matter how far you go back in the negative degrees, it's still going to feel like negative 20, which feels like death. Like I've never experienced that in Buffalo, right? So Buffalo can get to negative temperature. Usually when it hits negatives, right, like that, the positive to that is it can't snow. It's too cold to snow, right? No moisture can turn into snowflakes and fall on you because everything is frozen solid, right? And hurts. But Alaska, so when I was in Alaska, it hit negative, I think it hit negative 20 for us in Anchorage, and it hit negative 40 in North Pole in the Fairbanks area, and there was no difference. Either way, skin falls off.
Did you have like your Arctic parka with you everywhere?
I did. I had my parka, and then we had these. They're like snow. Like you ever see snowshoes? Like the like the
Mm-hmm.
tennis rackets that you put on the like. So they have a version of that for combat boots. So they're like spikes that you could clip onto the bottom of your boots, so that way you can make it. Because we worked on a hill, so you had to go from the parking lot was a bowl. You had to walk up the hill, and people were just sliding down. It's hilarious, right? You're a young airman. Ah, it's so funny. If I were to hit that pavement today, I'm going home.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Hit to like because for some reason frozen ground feels harder than regular ground, even though it's the same ground. Like for whatever reason, that ice when you hit that ice, it feels like harder than concrete. But yeah, so you wear snowshoes and walk up the hill. So that day, negative 20, I went to the BX and I grabbed like I think it was like a orange juice. So orange juice and something to snack on, and I walked up the hill, and by the time I got to the ECP to the gate, it was slush inside of the container. That's how cold it was outside. Never again. That's why I live in Florida. Never again. So, but yeah, not much happened this week. So I'll spare you on the TV talk, right? So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to put outside. But the gist of it is either I go super expensive to keep it weatherproofed, or I go super cheap and just let it die, right? Like ride it out for as long as I can. I think I'm going to go super cheap. It's going to be an experiment. I want to see how big and cheap I can go and how long it'll last. And that way I won't
that
feel bad.
that humidity down there just seems like, and I know you said like it doesn't seem to be eating away at the TVs like I think it will, but like the humidity down there just being constant just seems like it'll just
Hey,
kill it.
somehow all these bars with these outdoor,
And they're not
outdoor,
weatherproof TVs,
they're
which
not
blows my
weatherproof.
mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're out there working. They're doing what they got to do. Maybe it's just
Yeah,
it's
but that's why I'm
working.
gonna go super cheap. I'm gonna go like it hurts my soul, but the whole yeah the whole yeah I'm looking at Insignia. There's
Yeah.
like an 85-inch Insignia that's like $500 because when that thing goes, I'm not gonna feel bad.
720p. Just kidding.
You know, but the whole point is that it's something to look at while I should be enjoying the pool, right? So that's why I'm not. I'm gonna go this route. I'm gonna see what happens, but I'll let you know about that in the future once I pull the trigger. But definitely continue to check us out all week. All of our weeks are good, but I think this one's exceptional. So check out Monday and Tuesday our topics, Wednesday discussion, Thursdays are typically Ask a CSSP. Some of those going to roll out in the very near future, and then Fridays just like this, movies, books, games, all that good stuff, and trash talk. about our football team. So we'll see how that shakes out next week. But you know, we won't be able to see clips on TikTok. or I'm gonna eat crow and TikTok will be back. So we'll see we'll see what happens next week. But hit up all the websites that go by our name, the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or ask a CISSP. Hit me up personally. I'm at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. You can find me pretty much on all the platforms, but LinkedIn is my most active. And where can they find you, Chris?
You can find me on LinkedIn under my name, Chris Abacon. Last name spelled Abacon.
There it is. Stay safe. Stay secure.